Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today guys we're jumping down into the charts for XRP, taking a look at what's been going on most recently with the price action and what I would expect to happen next. As I get into this video, if you do find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not consider subscribing, tapping the bell, selecting all the notifications, and in doing so you will not miss another XRP update. And if you haven't yet checked out the Cheeky podcast, link is in the description down below. It's a fantastic podcast, keeps you up to date with absolutely everything that's going on in the crypto space. And also in the description down below, you'll find a link to our Discord server. Fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. So why not check those out as well? Okay, guys, let's waste no more time though. Let's jump straight down into this, right? So XRP paired up with USDT. We're on the hourly chart and Binance is the data source. Now, in front of us here, we have one possible scenario. Although I do feel that this one is incredibly less likely, it is a possible scenario that we could potentially take a look at. Okay, so in validation for this move, just off the bat here, if I go ahead and just flag this on here, basically anything lower than 33 cent would basically invalidate this move to the downside. Okay, so anything lower than 33 cent, this would not happen. But basically this pattern here is a zigzag. Okay, it's a 5-wave structure up, a 3-wave structure down, and then potentially a 5-wave structure up here. Okay, this would approximately end between 39.8 and 41.8. okay, but just for the record, I don't think this is something that we are likely to see. Instead, what I think has actually gone on here is that this here is our wave 3, this little move here is a wave 4, and our wave 5 is right there. Okay, the rest of this is corrective. So if I grab hold of a WXY, we go W, we go X, we go Y down to this point, and what we're waiting to do here is to see whether or not this turns into a 5-wave structure to the downside. Okay, and it was a potential move coming down lower. Really good emphasis on 32.19 cent. This is being the 1.618. Okay, and if that is the case, then effectively what this will become, in my opinion, will be a move to the downside like this. Wave 1, wave 2, a wave 3 coming down here, some kind of relief bounce up, and then a move down. Now that would be a 5-wave move, but it could be the beginning of another zigzag to the downside. Okay, emphasis on our 25 to 30 cent low range target within our Y wave. So effectively, all of this is corrective. There isn't anything else really going on here. Essentially, everything is just corrective moves going on. The only thing that's really pulling into question is whether or not we've completed the highs on our X wave, or whether or not we have to go back down a little bit lower. So I think if we were to drop down lower than 33 cent, effectively our X wave actually is the top of this wave 5, this zigzag pattern here, and the ABC upwards, and then effectively what we're looking for is then this move to the downside. Okay, now if we bring well, you can see here we actually hit my expectations of 34.12, actually came down I think to 34.06, so a little bit lower, but right on there, basically just wicked a little bit lower. Now what's interesting about this is we've bounced up a little bit, but we can still pull back down. All of this might just be that 3rd wave move, right? So we can't really say that we're invalidating anything. It's just hit a 1-to-1 ratio at the moment, nothing overly special about it. But when we bring in our stochastic RSI on this hourly chart, you can see that we are overbought and we are looking for the correction to the downside. This correction to the downside could take us in towards our low 32.19, and essentially what that would do is it will allow us to then actually say that we will have a relief bounce, which will be our 4th wave up, and then a further move down into a final 5th wave low. Okay, now just bearing in mind that our wave 4 cannot cross wave 1 because it's an unbreakable rule, and there is going to be a limit to that. Okay, so what we should see and what actually happens are going to be interesting kind of things to kind of take a look at. Now I'm just going to mark that little area here. Okay, that is basically 35.23. So right now we're below that. We can actually trade above it and go back down low. That's okay. But essentially, once we've completed a wave 3, we cannot cross that level of 35.23. So if we do come down to this 32.19, we should not cross back above 35.23 without first completing a 5th wave. If the 4th wave here moves above that, then it is not an impulsive 53535 structure. And the only thing it could be is either a leading or ending diagonal, or something to that effect, or it's just corrective, a 3-wave move down, a 3-wave move up, and so forth. And we could be looking at a different kind of corrective pattern altogether. Okay, so be mindful over these things. But this is basically what I'm thinking is most probable in the space. I'm not expecting a move up higher. And if we do see anything above, if I just go and mark that up, 38.71, then, we are talking then about 39.8 to 41.85. Okay, so with all that being said, let's jump up into the 4 hour. Now, the 4 hour is indicating that we need to move the price up, right? Now, it doesn't have to be a massive price move to the upside, but it has to be a price movement to the upside at some point. Okay, so on this 4 hourly chart, we could potentially be looking at our fourth wave bounce. If we were to come down using the stochastic of our hourly chart to move the price to 32.19, we could then look for that relief bounce that moves this 4 hour stochastic RSI from oversold to overbought within our fourth wave bounce, still meaning that we have that fifth wave low still to come, provided of course the price does not move above 35.23. So with all that being said, let's jump up into the 8 hour. Again, a similar story. We're just heading down into this oversold area. Now, we can be down here for a little bit, but at some point we are expecting this price movement to go up. Okay, so it could be a small bounce. It doesn't have to be a big price movement, but that stochastic RSI has to move back to the overbought area, in my opinion, for us to really finish off this move to the downside. Okay, and our targets are all the way down at these low ranges, 25 to 30 cents. So we should be mindful over that. Okay, now essentially we could be taking a look at this on a slightly different scale if I actually shoot on up here for a second. Okay, now if I take a measurement of this, and this is again a less likely scenario, but I will show you anyway, right? If I grab this Fibonacci retracement level, 100% of this movement just here to this level, we can see that we are basically just short of 1.236. So there's nothing overly special about the move. There's no reason to think that we're going up in towards those higher ranges. So we should be, mindful that, it's possible that we have a 5-way structural move here, but it might just be, a WXYXZ rather than thinking of it as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move, because it hasn't really met those Fibonacci requirements. Now, this 8 hour stochastic RSI, I imagine that will be down as we kind of lower it into these ranges a little bit here. We should potentially now start to see this thing rise up a bit. Okay, so again, that fourth wave bounce on our smaller time frames could see this 8 hour stochastic RSI come to the overbought area as well. Now, the biggest thing on this chart really is the daily stochastic RSI. This daily chart is indicating a drop to the downside. So we could not really review the XRP without really analyzing what's going on the macro level as well. So we are nearing the end of a correction. We're very, very close to the bottom, but I do want to see this daily stochastic RSI finally actually pull back down. Now, we have got obviously our Elliott wave triangle with this unpredictable E wave and the possibility of actually dropping down quite significantly, lower than 20 cents. But I don't think that's necessarily probable. I mean, we look at back all of this consolidation over this side, and I think this is really where we're looking to kind of find this ending. Now, essentially all of this is some kind of large ABC structure, in my opinion, because of our triangle and an unpredictable E wave that has broken down from here. So we should be mindful over that. But for the most part, I am still expecting some kind of impulsive structural move to the upside afterwards. But, for now, we should be still thinking downward price action. I don't think we've really hit the bottom here for XRP just yet. And we are looking to bring this stochastic RSI on our daily chart, down to this oversold area. Once it is oversold, that's really where we should then start to look for alignments. Our monthly is oversold, our weekly is oversold, our daily is not. Okay, so from a macro standpoint, we are waiting to see how this thing pairs, how we can kind of continue this motion to the upside on a macro scale. If I zoom out here and just get rid of that, you can kind of see the scale of what we are looking at and what we've been tracking from March 2020 up to April 2021, down to where we are currently. This could be a giant ABC structure. And I say ABC structure, but a 3-wave structure. If anything, it's probably more of a WXY, ending in a 5-wave move, okay? I am expecting this explosive 5-wave structure to happen, and I think that will end this nicely. Now, on the 1-to-1 ratio, we're approximately talking about $6 level, but with everything from the SEC and Ripple, we could potentially see this thing explode up higher than that, but it really does depend on this structure here and how we actually reverse out of these lows. If we do start to see a really good impulsive structure, then we could be talking $10 plus. So I think there's going to be some interesting stuff to go on here, and I think ultimately the major catalyst for price discovery is going to come from the SEC versus Ripple. and the output of that case, which is obviously very critical to the entire crypto space, and it is vital that, you know, ultimately the SEC do not win. If the SEC win, it sets precedent that they can go after any cryptocurrency out there. So it's important that, you know, that doesn't happen. You know, win, lose, draw, settle, I don't think matters so much to Ripple or the price action of XRP. I think it's going to go up regardless. But for the rest of the crypto space, we definitely don't want the SEC to win. That would be pretty bad, and it would allow the SEC to kind of go after pretty much any other cryptocurrency out there. So that's the last thing that anyone in the crypto space are going to want. We definitely don't want the SEC winning. So, you know, a settlement is, you know, not the best outcome either. I mean, it'd be great for Ripple and for XRP, but again, doesn't necessarily give the crypto space what it needs from a clarity perspective. In an ideal world, we'd want the SEC to lose, but again, I don't see that happening. If anything, the most probable outcome is probably settlement, because I don't think the SEC could afford a loss. So I think it's going to be interesting to kind of see how it plays out. Either way, I am expecting an explosive move out of this area for XRP on the back of conclusion of the lawsuit. Guys, I'm going to leave the video there. If you have found this useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all at the next one.